in this case, right, now that we're returning back to the problem, let's go ahead and see what happened to scenario or question number 3 here. It says to continue your inventory from question number 1, and your inventory method is still periodic and it's FIFO. So in this case, here's what we know. On June 30th, you should have had a total of 1250 toys on hand. And we do know that because we did solve for our ending inventory, right? So in this case, I have 3 batches of inventory for my ending inventory, right? I have to carry all 3 batches exactly like this over into my new inventory worksheet, right? I can't just combine them and call them my beginning inventory, right? I actually have to keep them separate because think of it, right? Like for situations where if these are batches of milk, you can't just combine them together, right? They all have a expiration date on them. So in this case, we still have to keep them separate. So I'm going to copy over this exact inventory, ending inventory, because now this becomes my beginning inventory, right? I know I have a total of 1250 to begin with and carry over to my new inventory. So I got 174, 80, and 600. So copy that over into my new inventory worksheet here. So I got 170, 480, and 600. Okay. And I'm going to just go ahead and copy my numbers over. So I got 219 for the first one. I have 745 for the second one. And I have my blue batch at 1080. All right. And because what I'm going to do here is I am going to keep my color schemes. Okay. Because I already have it set up that way. Right. However you want to. I want to keep it that way because, again, these are my batches of inventory. I still want to keep them in order of exactly how they were. They came in, right? So in this case, I'm going to identify my yellow, green, and blue batches. Okay. Now, not only is this my beginning balances equal sum, if you guys remember from the lesson, since this is my beginning inventory, that means this part becomes part of my cost, my goods available, right? Because it's the first thing that you recognize. So therefore, I'm going to also build my goods available table right away because this is going to be what's going to be included in my inventory, right? The things I'm going to be selling. Okay, so therefore, I need to copy everything down here exactly how I see it over there. Okay, so you got 219, you got 745, and you got 1080. Okay. And this formula, write my cost per item. Okay. All right, and I'm also going to go ahead and color code them too because, again, if I started one way, then I'm going to continue to do that. But that means once I know and understand what's going on, I can drop the colors next time because it makes sense. We already know what we're doing, right? So in this case, just for the first one, I just want to make sure that we are aware of what's going on. And the next problem, when we start up the next time around, I'm going to drop the colors. We're not going to use colors anymore, right? Because it's pretty straightforward of what we're purchasing and what we are returning and so on and so forth. Right? So there are my batches. So again, I identified that I have my beginning inventory, identified that it also becomes part of my goods available. So now I can go ahead and begin my problem. Now what I'm going to do here is, again, now it asks me to go ahead and continue doing everything that I've been doing, right? For question 4, it's going to tell me to journalize it again. Once again, it is rinse and repeat. There's nothing more to do. So you can do that for your own practice purposes only. For this class, I am not going to continue with that, okay? I'm just only going to complete the conversion entry because, again, it's rinse and repeat. All right, it's the same exact journal over and over and over and over again. Only difference is your debits and credits are different. Okay. So again, let's take a look here. So we're only going to focus on just plugging our numbers into the inventory worksheet and doing question number 4, which is the conversion entry. Okay. So then on July 5th, you end up purchasing an additional 500 toys at $1.65 with a freight of $25. So 500, 165, and 25. Okay. So again, we're going to put this in my purchases. Okay. It's now July 5th for 500 units at $1.65 with a freight of 25. So let me double confirm. I think you purchase 500 units at $1.65 with a freight of 25. Okay? So, what should my purchase price be?
$825.
825 plus 25 gives me a total cost of
850.
Okay, so therefore my cost per item is going to be
$1.70.
$1.70. Now let's see if this is even or it needs to keep going. So in this case, it's even. Now I need to select another color because in this case, I have to keep it separate from the batches that I already have. So in this case, I am going to identify with, let's use orange. Okay. We'll call this batch orange. Okay. So then let's see what happened next because we can't add it to my goods available because we don't know if we're going to make any changes to it. Okay. So then July 10, we end up purchasing 800 toys at $1.80 with a freight of 40. So in this case, no changes to that batch on July 5th. So we can go ahead and copy that into my into the inventory worksheet or into my goods available. But in this case, on July 10, I end up purchasing 800 units at $1.80 with a freight of 40. So let's go ahead and do that. It is July 10. We purchased 800 units at $1.80 with a freight of 40. So what's my purchase price here?
$14.40.
$14.40 plus 40.
And it's $14.80 for the total cost.
Okay.
And the cost is $1.85.
Good. Okay. All right. So now, right, we need to identify another color, right? So let's call this, see what other colors I have available. Guess we can do purple, okay? We'll call this the purple batch. Now let's take a look. So since we know that we have this orange batch, right? No changes were made to it. I can go ahead and add that into my goods available because I don't have to adjust this in any way because it doesn't need to be adjusted, right? We didn't return anything. Awesome. So there you go. I have another 500 units added to my pile. Now let's go ahead and see what happened next. Um, so it's July 11 now. Okay. And it says that we end up returning 100 defective toys for a full refund. So July 11, we end up returning 100 defective toys. So returns and allowances. We returned 100 units. At what cost or what unit price?
$1.70.
Well, no, not $1.70. How much did we buy it for?
$825.
No, the unit price. Unit price. How much per
Oh,
item did I buy each unit for this?
okay, $1.65.
Okay, so in this case, can I return something that was in the past? Now it's July 11 right now, right?
Right,
Now the rule of thumb here is when you're generally opening packages, right? As soon as you receive the items, the first rule of thumb is you should be opening every package just to make sure that every item is there. Check if each item is defective, check whatever it is, right? So in this
right.
case, can I return something that all the way from July 5th?
So it'd be out of July 10th.
Yes, it would be because in
Okay,
this
okay.
case, because you opened up the package for July 10 and you
Hmm.
found that 100 of those toys are actually defective. They don't work.
Okay,
So in this case, rule of thumb is usually when you upon receiving your inventory, you're going to check to make sure every item is there. And then of course, once you find out if something is broken, the next following day or a couple days later, that's when you do the return. So in this case, at what cost or what unit price did I pay for this batch of inventory?
180.
180, right? So that's exactly what I am going to put in here, $1.80. So again, if I'm returning 100 units at $1.80, what is my total refund?
$180.
$180. So again, this one affects my purple batch of inventory, right?
Right,
So therefore, I can plug in my answers now because now I no longer have 800 units, right? I end up
right,
returning 100 of them. So I have 700 now.
right.
Now my total cost, I end up getting a refund. So I originally was charged 1480, but I end up getting a refund for $180. So how much should I actually be owing now?
Okay, we had 100. I mean, we had 80 units.
Where are you getting these numbers from? Where's 80 coming from?
I'm sorry, I meant to say 800.
Okay, that's what we started out with, but I end up
Right,
returning 100 of them, right?
right.
So
So
how
you
much
have
do I have left?
700 left.
You have 700 left. Now in this case, I got a refund for $180.
Right,
I originally was charged for the full amount of 800 units. I was originally charged a grand total of 1480. If I got a $180 refund, how much should I be owing now?
1,660.
$1,660? Is that what you said?
Yeah. Oh. Okay.
Do it again. You started with $14.80 and you got a refund for $180.
1,300.
$1,300. Yes, sir. Is everything okay?
I'm not using my phone. I'm actually using a calculator, and this calculator is giving me so much problem.
Okay. All right. All right.
Yeah, using my calculator on my phone. I don't know why, but for some reason it just runs my battery down. So
No worries. Okay, so now I have a new quantity of 700 units and I have a new total cost of $1,300, right? Because I end up getting a refund. So now, because I have a new quantity and a new total cost, I need to now recalculate what the cost per item is going to be. Which is going to be $1,857,149. Okay, and this is my purple batch of inventory. Okay, so let's see what happened next. Okay, then July 20th, we end up purchasing 300 toys at $1.85 with a freight of 15. 300, 185, 15. Okay, so in this case, it is July 20th. What's my purchase price here?
okay, the purchase price is $555.
$555 plus 15.
$570.
$570, which will give me a cost per item to be
$1.90.
$1.90. So I'm going to call this, okay, let's see, which color have I not used yet? Let's call this my red batch. Okay, so yes, you can reuse colors because, again, if it isn't on the sheet, you can reuse. So again, let's hold it there. Okay. Then on July 21st, you end up returning 50 toys. It was the wrong color, but you are willing to accept a 20% discount. Okay, so 50 of those toys were the wrong color, but you are willing to accept a 20% discount. Okay. So in this case, did I actually return anything?
No.
No. But in this case, what did it cost me? It cost me $1.85, right?
All right.
Now, if I am returning 50 of those items, but not really, how much is it going to give me if I'm going to get 20% of that money back? What is my total allowance is going to be if I'm going to get 20% back on the wrong items?
You'll be getting 18.50.
You're going to get $18.50, right? So here, this is what you got to do. So you do 50 times $1.85, which is $92.50, right? We want to
Right.
know what 20% of that $92.50 is, okay? And that will give you $18.50. Okay, excellent. So we know this belongs to the red batch of inventory. So in this case, right, we know that we still have all 300 units. Only difference is 50 of those units were discounted. Okay? So in this case, I started out with $570, but I end up getting a refund for $18.50. So how much is my new total cost? I started out with $570 and I got a refund for $18.50.
$551.50.
500, good. Okay, so therefore we need to do the same thing because now I have a new total cost. So if I divide that by 300, I'm going to get a cost per item of $1.838333333. Okay, and this is my red batch of inventory. Okay, whoops, wrong one. Okay, so then let's see what else happened. Last but not least, on July 25th, we end up purchasing 100 toys at $1.75 with a freight of $5, right? Giving us, by the end of July 31st, a total of 600 toys left on hand, okay? So let's go ahead and enter in our last batch of inventory here. So that 100 toys at $1.75 with a freight costing you $5. Okay? So July 25th. We got 100 units at $1.75, which will give you $175 plus $5,
180.
and that will be divided by 100. And we know for a fact that no changes were made here because that was the last batch of inventory. No returns were made. Okay, and I'm just gonna pick. Let's pick gray. Let's do a darker gray. There you go, gray. Okay. And because that is not something that we need to make changes to, I'm going to go ahead and copy it over here at 180. Okay. There you go. Great. Okay. So now that we have our ending balance, right, we have a total of 600 toys left on hand. Therefore, that's going to be down below here, 600. Okay. So now let's go ahead and tally up our totals. We need to figure out how much we purchased, how much we returned, and how much we actually have available because we already calculated what our beginning inventory is. So in this case, we have, how many did we buy in grand total? So I got 500 plus 800 plus 300 plus 100.
1,700.
1,700. Okay. Total purchase price was $2,995. Freight, right? 25 plus 40 plus 15 plus 5 is going to give you, I think that's 85, which will give you a total cost of $3,080. Okay? So let's go ahead and plug all those numbers in. So we purchased a grand total of 1,700 units at $2,995. Let's see, I didn't even do my totals here. So let's go ahead and create this right here. So what's my total amount of goods available? Okay, go ahead and calculate that for you. We have a total of 2,850 units. Okay. At a grand total of $4,925.50. Okay. What was my grand total of returns? How many items did I return?
100.
We end up returning a total of 100 units. At a total cost of, what was my total refund for? So what?
1850.
Oh, 1850 plus 180.
Okay.
All right.
198.50.
198.50. Okay. So therefore, that's my total refunds, right? I end up returning 100 units at a grand total cost of 198.50. Okay? So therefore, that should reduce me to 1600, and that should reduce me to 2796.50. Okay? Freight adds 0 to quantity, but it adds to the total cost. So I'm going to add my $85. And I'm going to get 1,600 units at a grand total cost of $2,881.50. Now that was just my net purchases. This hasn't, we're not anywhere close to my goods available yet. Right? So in this case, do I have beginning inventory?
Yes.
Yes, I do, right? I carried it from my previous worksheet, right? I have a total of 1,250 units at a grand total cost of $2,044. Okay. I'm going to carry down my net purchases of my 1,600 units at my $2,881.50. So in this case, my grand total I have available to sell is going to be 2,850, which matches your goods available, right? For a grand total cost of 244 plus 2,881.50. For 925.50. 4,925.50, which matches your goods available. Okay. Awesome. So then, last but not least, we have a total of 600 units left remaining. So my total cost of goods sold, if I started out with 2850 units and I only have 600 left, how many have I sold?
2,250.
You sold 2,250 units. Okay, so in this case, I'm going to insert a couple of rows here because now I'm going to build my table. Okay, I'm going to build my cost of goods sold table. Okay, so how many batches of inventory do I have left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So my assumption is I am going to be needing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do, my equal summary here. And I'm going to also have my running balance so I know how many items I have on hand at all time. And I'll go ahead and just carry that over to this side of the table for my ending inventory. Okay. Okay. So in this case, using the rules of FIFO, which batch of inventory am I going to sell from first?
Yellow.
Yellow, right? At 170. So I'm going to copy that down. Boom. And boom. Okay, so I sold my first 170. What's next?
Green.
Green, right? We're going to sell out my green. So I'm going to copy all of that down. And which batch of inventory is next?
Uh, Blue.
Blue, yep. We're going to sell all 600 units here. So right now I have a total of 1250. So how many more do I need to keep selling?
Red.
Not red.
Oh, orange.
Orange,
I mean,
yes. Yes,
yeah.
that was correct.
Yeah.
We're going to sell our orange batch next, right? For
Right.
500 units. Okay? So we're going to sell all of it. So therefore, we got rid of my orange batch. Okay? We're at 1750. We still have a long way to go. So which batch of inventory are we going to sell next?
Mm, Purple.
Purple for 700. Let's see. Is that it? Are we going to take all of it or some of it? Let's see.
We can
Okay.
take all. We can take all of it.
Well, if we take all of it, it's going to push us to 2,450. That's a little too much.
Okay.
So in this case, my end goal is I need to get to 2,250, right?
Right.
And so far I have 1,750 after selling everything up to the orange batch. So in this case, I need to sell 500 units more.
Okay. So out of the purple, we'll take 500.
Correct. So in this case, my cost per item is $1.8571429. So therefore, how much is it going to cost me if I'm only going to sell 500 units at 1.8571429?
I got 928.57.
$928.57. Excellent. So therefore, in grand total, I got $3,822.57. Okay. All right. So let me go ahead and take the time to color code all this. So we started out with our yellow batch of inventory. Okay. Then we got our green batch of inventory. Then we got our blue batch of inventory for 600. And we had our orange batch at 500. Then we had our purple batch for the 500. Okay. So then we have our ending inventory. We can build our table here so we can see what we need to carry on to the next problem if there is any. All right. So in this case, I still have 200 units, right? 700 minus the 500 we sold will leave you with 200. We still have the 300 from our red batch remaining and the 100 from my gray batch remaining, giving me a grand total of 600 units. Okay. Okay. All right, so we still have purple remaining. We still have red remaining. And we still have gray remaining. Okay, so then, right, what was my total ending balance? In this case, it should give you that $1,102.93. Okay, so awesome. All right. All right, last but not least, let's go ahead and complete my conversion entry. Okay. So, starting on question 4 here, what do I need to recognize for my conversion entry for July 31st?
Inventory.
Inventory in this case, what was the specific product I bought?
Toys.
Toys, good. What else do I need to recognize?
Cost of goods sold.
Cost of goods sold. Anything else?
Purchase expense.
Purchase expense. What else?
Freight expense.
Okay. Anything else?
Uh, your beginning inventory.
Beginning inventory. And anything else? Okay. Let's plug our numbers in and then we'll solve from there, okay? So what
Okay.
was my ending inventory?
$1,102.93.
What was the value of my total cost of goods sold?
$3,822.57.
Okay. What was my total purchases? Purchase price.
$2,995.
Okay. What was my total freight?
$85.
Okay. And what was my total beginning inventory? Beginning inventory.
$198.
$198. No, that's
Oh,
not your
hold on.
beginning.
I'm sorry. 2,044.
2044. So equals sum I got $4,925.50 on the left, while I got $5,124 on the right. Oh, hold on. Okay, so in this case, I need to know what 5124 minus 492550 is, and that gives me not that number. Okay, let's do that again. I have 198.50. Where do I see that?
Returns and allowances and discounts.
Yes, so in this case, I have a purchase returns and allowances. Remember, so think of it this way, okay? Every time I buy an item, right, I have 5 buckets now in this case. Okay, I have 5 buckets of 5 buckets. Okay, as I make purchases of inventory, I'm gonna put all of my inventory items in my purchase expense account and my freight expense account. Okay. Now, every time I have to return a product, right, that's the first thing that's got to go is right into the returns and allowances bucket. So that's going to reduce my purchase expense, right?
Right.
Because I'm putting it all into my purchase returns. But at the same time, I'm also selling my inventory item along the way. Now, in this case, that's exactly why we produced the inventory worksheet. So now I know how many items I have left on hand, right? I have 600 units. So I'm going to take 600 units out of my purchase expense account and put it into my toys. But I sold 2,250 units or something like that, right? So therefore, I need to put that all into my cost of goods sold. So that's the idea there. And I also had beginning inventory of 1250 that I carried over because I only purchased 1,700 units. Okay, so that's how we have to treat this. Okay, and the last thing I'm going to do here is conversion entry for periodic inventory, ending balance of 600 toys. We sold, I can't remember how many we sold. How many did we sell? We sold oh yeah, I was right. 2,250 toys and returned 100 toys. Okay? And that concludes the first part of the inventory worksheet. Okay, so the first 2 questions, four questions in grand total, but 2 inventory worksheets. So we kind of understand how things are going, right? We started off, right, by making our purchases. We made some returns along the way, and then we tallied up our totals right here, right? Then we end up having ending balance of 3 batches of inventory. We carried it onto our new inventory worksheet because that's what it said, right? We carried those 3 batches of inventory right here. We made more purchases along the way, and we made more returns along the way. So we have now a new grand total right here, and we slowly subtracted them and then slowly figured out that this is what my total ending balance is. Okay. All right, any questions in regards to FIFO?